Well, hello there and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here and you like the content, please make sure you hit like and subscribe. So today we are going to be doing something completely different. We are going to go back
to the future. And
what I mean by that, of course, is we're going to take a look at this beautiful guitar right here. This is my 1985 Ibanez Roadstar 2 RS430. Anyway, the reason why I'm making all these Back to the Future references is back in the original Back to the Future movie, there is a scene where good old Marty McFly is auditioning with his band for a talent show at the high school, and he is flying around on one of these things. This exact model, different color mind you, but yeah, that kind of thing. Wait, you mean you haven't seen that clip from Back to the Future? Oh, you guys are killing me. Okay, here it is.
1, 2, 3.
So yeah, the Marty McFly signature model, perhaps? Anyhow, I'm going to give you kind of a review on this guitar. I've had it now for a few months. Just as per usual with these reviews, I'm going to give you my kind of thoughts and opinions on this guitar. I'll go over some of the specs. And if you're more interested in things like tones, those will be more towards the back of the video. So just make sure you use the timestamps here to find the content you're looking for, okay? Perfect. Alright, so quick overview. Basically what this guitar is, obviously, is an Ibanez Roadster 2 series. This is kind of a neat shape. It's very much a Stratocaster style shape, but a little bit different. I really enjoy these. Those of you who have been following this channel for a while have probably seen some other videos of me playing my other Ibanez Roadster 2 series guitars. I really like these. The quality, fit and finish on them is just outstanding. These are all produced in Japan in the 80s, and the components on them seem to be really good, really high quality stuff. This one in particular is a 1985 model. These were only made for 2 years, by the way. They were made in 84 and 85. The only thing I will say about this one, it seems to be all original, which is fantastic. The one thing I'm not too certain about, though, are these strap buttons. You see these? These are round. Those of you that are familiar with the Roadster 2 series know that normally you don't get a button up here, you get kind of a chevron V. I've got those on my other guitars. Really cool strap button. You don't need strap locks with them. They really hold a strap in there tightly. So I think somebody may have changed these. I might look around to replace these for some original ones if I can find them. But just with everything right now, the pricing on little parts like that seems to be insane. So I might just make do with the round ones. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so the body, as you can see, this is a stunning metallic green finish. Ibanez calls this the forest green finish, if I'm not mistaken. Not super common, they are around. This is the first time I've come across one, which is part of the reason why I bought it. I'm just a sucker for a pretty guitar, and I mean, this thing is, well, yeah, it's pretty. Like, yeah, it's a pretty guitar. Anyway, so I picked this thing up. The body is obviously identical, more or less, to my RS440, with the only exception being that it is a humbucker in the bridge instead of the single coil, which this one has. So again, we're looking at, you know, basic super strap body. Ibanez has this kind of interesting design here where it's kind of got a bit of a knot, or not a knot, but like almost like a little claw or pincer or something to the horns. I kind of like the design, not for everybody. You've got a cutaway here for your arm. You've got a tummy cut back here. There's your plate there for your trem routing. And you've got your electronics here. Bolt-on neck, obviously. And here's what the heel joint says. So you have your serial number on there, as well as where it's manufactured. And anyway, yeah, this one's obviously in really, really nice shape for the year, aside from the strap button thing. The body itself is made of basswood on this particular model. Interesting, this one's an 85. In 84, Ibanez made these with, I do believe, a birch top, which this doesn't have. So if you do get one of these from 84, you might get a birch top. So that's a bonus. Not really much else I can tell you about the body. Obviously, we have the Ibanez proprietary bridge here. We'll talk about that later. And these pickups, which I really like, these are the V7 or Super 7 Ibanez pickups. I think these sound really good, but we'll do more on that back in the tones. Basically, you got your regular 5-way selector switch here, just like you would find on a lot of Strats. Tone, volume. These knobs don't do anything trick like on my other one because, of course, we don't have a humbucker to split. These are the same interesting kind of knobs that were on the other one that I do have, and these happen to be called knurled tech grip knobs. Not sure why the funny name, but there you go. As we know, Ibanez likes funny names on things, and even in the 80s, bizarre names on stuff. Anyway, they feel fine. They feel kind of plastic rubbery. I won't change them. Obviously, it's stock. It looks good. So there you go, the body. All right, guys, let's talk about the neck. As you can see, this is a painted neck. It's painted to match the body in that stunning forest green color that this guitar happens to be in. And yeah, the specs on this, as you may have guessed, are identical to the RS440, which I also happen to have. So we're looking at a 25.5-inch scale length neck. We've got rosewood fingerboard. We've got this really epic old school Ibanez 80s blade headstock, which is quirky looking, but I quite like it. On the back here, I don't know if you can see this, you've got yourself some Ibanez branded tuners, which are lovely. They happen to say smooth tuners, so yeah, I guess that's probably the name they were using with these. Nice component though. This is the nut that comes on the Pro Rocker bridges, which is what that is. Kind of a bizarre design. They use this up into 85, and then by 86 you start seeing a more traditional style nut like you would find on other guitars. Basically when they rolled in with the Ibanez Edge bridge, that's when you start seeing more of a Floyd Rose style nut. This is okay though. If you put nut sauce in there or graphite or whatever, this will work just fine. The white one I have, I play quite a bit. I'm pretty aggressive with the bar and it stays in tune like a champ. So this kind of setup does work with a little bit of care. Now underneath this beautiful forest green neck paint is a maple neck. So that's the exact same as all the other stuff in this range. Really, really lovely neck. Nice profile. This is not thin at all like a Jackson or even a modern Ibanez. To me, this feels a bit more akin to like a flatter Fender from the era. Like I've got some Fender contemporaries. It feels similar to that, a little bit flatter. Definitely not what you would consider a modern shredder kind of neck, which honestly I like. This is comfortable. My hand doesn't cramp when I'm playing it. Really, really lovely neck. Obviously we have 22 frets. Access up here is good. I mean, just like any Super Strat. The fret material itself is nothing too crazy. I think this is just, your regular kind of nickel stuff. And the fretboard radius on here, I don't know if you can see how flat this is or not. This is about 12 inches. Which is a pretty decent flat-ish radius. I like it, it's comfortable, it's kind of a nice compromise, but yeah, really, really nice, really comfortable neck to play, feels really excellent. The quality on it is, I mean, just stunning, and it's, again, this beautiful green, which is gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful forest green. I think these came in a few different colors. Obviously, they came in white, I have that one, and I'm pretty sure black, and then forest green. There's also a really nice purple one, but I think that was just the RS440s that came with a beautiful purple finish. Not entirely sure, though. If anyone knows for certain, leave me a comment. Okay, the bridge. So we are back to this thing, the same one that was in that RS440 I have. This is the Ibanez Pro Rocker bridge. This is kind of a predecessor to the Ibanez Edge trims, which are fantastic. The other one I've got, I couldn't quite get it to float and stay in tune properly. It always would kind of wander a little bit from pitch. I'm not sure if maybe just the knife edges are toast. I've seen videos of people with these free floating though, and they get them to do all sorts of great stuff. I'm still struggling with this one. I don't want to deck it like I did the other one. I'd love to keep it free floating, but I think I might need to rip it apart, put it all back together, change the springs back here, and just see what I can do with general maintenance to try and get it to hang out and float properly. It also has a couple little weird things. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this to make the noise for you, but bear with me here. Do you hear that little noise? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what that is. I've isolated it. It's definitely within the bridge itself. I think it's probably the strings contacting somewhere. I will say this bridge is a single locker. It's not a full true double locking bridge like a Floyd Rose, which means that you feed your strings in through the back here and the balls stay on them and they come up over the top and up there like you would kind of a normal Floyd, but you don't cut the ball ends off. So there's still that material and the ball in this trim buried a bit. So I think what's happening there is I'm getting a little bit of slippage, maybe a little bit of friction and contact somewhere. So I'm gonna rip this apart, see if I can figure out what's doing that, and hopefully we can get this thing to stay in tune a little bit better, free floating. I'll maybe make another video of that if you guys are interested. Let me know below. Anyway, another thing I will say about that though, of course, with this being a single locking trim, just by the nature, I don't know if you can see this. Let me try and get in there, just how this is. Like if you want to change the strings on this, 100% this plate is coming off, and it's not particularly easy to thread the strings through the block and the saddles of this particular guitar. I will say that changing strings on these, yeah, it's a royal pain in the butt. And I'm comparing that to changing strings on something like a normal Floyd. So you get all the headaches of a regular Floyd with a non-locking trim, which is already challenging to change strings on. So there is that to think about. That is really the only drawback to these guitars, is this quirky bridge. But I kind of like it because, I mean, really, look at this bridge. I mean, aside from the obvious issues I'm having with stability, this is a beautifully machined, high quality product. I mean, look at that bridge. Beautiful, beautiful craftsmanship on that. Anyway, hoping to get a solution to this bridge, hoping to keep it in tune because it's staying on this guitar and I like it. I mean, if I have to deck it, I will, but I prefer to have one that actually free floats, right? Anyway, all right, enough about all of that stuff. You guys probably want to know about the tones. So, let's go. I will say this thing does that really nice kind of slinky strat thing up here in the neck and in the neck middle. Yeah. Anyway, really lovely pickups, but yeah, here's me playing kind of the same thing over and over again for a bit of a better comparison. All right, tones, neck. All right, neck middle. Middle. All right, bridge middle. All right, bridge. You guys probably want something a little bit more polished and rocky lead, right? That's what I thought. All right, let's go. There you have it. That is my review on my beautiful 1985 Ibanez Roadster 2 RS430. What a short name. Anyway, gorgeous guitar. This finish, the forest green, is absolutely stunning. I really like this guitar. Again, I'm not a big Ibanez guy, except for these older ones from the 80s. Just something about them. I think it's this neck. I just really like it. And they're gorgeous, and they're a little quirky. And I love a quirky Super Strat, as you guys probably noticed by the sheer volume of guitars I have. Anyway, love this thing to death. Plays wonderfully. Really neat pickups. I love the sound out of this thing. I find that the sound is similar to a Strat, but different enough to kind of justify keeping these in here, so I probably will. Yeah, lovely guitar. Lovely fit and finish. Excellent build quality. Again, these are a bit quirky, but I would highly recommend that if you find one of these locally for a decent price, they can still be had fairly inexpensively. Take one out for a spin, see if you get on with this neck, see if you like this guitar, because the quality on this is pretty incredible for the money on the used market. I mean, how much does a Japanese produced Ibanez go for these days? I think we're looking at what, 1,500-ish, 1,200-ish Canadian? I mean, you certainly aren't going to find one of those now for under $1,000, where, you know, these still can be had quite reasonably priced. I'm probably going to hang on to this one, which probably makes good sense because it seems like I'm just collecting one of every version of these models anyway. Anyway, that is the complete review on this guitar. If you like this review, if you learned anything, please make sure you hit like and subscribe. I'm getting really close to 1,000 subs, and with your help, I just might get there. But anyway, as per usual, guys, that is it. That is all. So just keep on shredding, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Bye for now.